Okay, hi. So anyway, once again, I am tinkering with my Telecaster. I've made quite a few changes. I'm not going to bore you with them all, but what I've been doing lately is I've been working on this bridge pickup. And originally, this Telecaster, it's a 2006 Mexican-made standard Fender. And what it comes with stock are these ceramic pickups. This is the bridge right here, and I still have the original neck pickup in. So this is what the ceramic pickup sounded like. Okay, so I wanted to try something different. So I done a lot of looking around, and I came to the conclusion that I like the Five-Two from Seymour Duncan, because they say they put unequal fives in the bass and unequal two magnets in the treble, and so you're supposed to get like a balanced sound. This is what that sounded like. Is that when I did that video, I did it live. Like I literally just dropped the pickup in, and without even listening to it beforehand, shot the video. And I think I was a little surprised. I was a little let down, to tell you the truth. I'm not saying anything bad against the Five-Two pickup. I think it's a very modern sounding one. My complaints with it was that I just felt like it didn't really have any character. I mean, Telecasters have imperfections that make it what it is. It's why it's a Telecaster. The other thing is that now I had put in a vintage style neck, and this is, and I don't know if you can make that out, but the radius on this neck is 7 1/4, which is very, it's as round as you can get on a any kind of stock issue guitar. And what that radius means is this is the fingerboard here. There's a curvature to it, a very slight curvature. And the smaller the number, the more round it is. And the reason why it's round is so that, you know, it's easier to fret chords, especially if you're not playing, ignore that, especially if you're not playing leads. It's, you know, if you do a lot of chord work like I do. So what I don't like about the Five-Two, okay, so I didn't think it had really any character to it. And the other thing is that because the Five-Two, these little dots here are magnetic poles, and they were all flush. And so what happened is that the two middle strings, the D and the G string, were further away from the magnets than like the outer strings. So what happened is that the bass strings and the treble strings were very loud, but the middle strings were very dull. It wasn't a very balanced sound. So I called Seymour Duncan. They're pretty good about this. You know, they got this warranty. I think it's 21 days, and they say, look, we want to make you happy, so if you're not knocked out completely by our pickup, call us. Tell us what the problem is, and we'll work it out for you. So I called them, I told them my problem, and they said, well, what do you like? And I said, well, I play mostly clean. I don't play with any distortion or anything like that. And I like a big open sound, nice and bright. And they said, okay, what you want is you want our STL-1 Vintage pickup, and that's what came in this box here. And it's basically based off of the 1954 pickup. And now, when the Telecaster first came out as a broadcaster, it had flat poles, and it was wound a little hotter. It had a lot of mid-tone to it. In '54, they corrected it because of the flat poles. Just like I said, the middle strings were coming off weaker than the outer strings. So in 1954, they made the poles a little smaller, and what they did is, I don't know if you can see, but this here is your D pole, and it's raised, so it's a little higher than the other ones. And the G one is also higher, where the the outer four one are flat. So you're supposed to get a more of a what do you call it, standardized response. So what does it sound like? Here it is. This is the So it sounds like a Telecaster. It's a lot twangier, a lot brighter, but you know, I think that's not a bad thing. You know, if you don't like that sound, don't play a Telecaster. So we got Strats and you got Les Pauls and all the other stuff. One other thing is I hooked up a distortion pedal. I don't really. So that's it. That's the Seymour Duncan STL-1 54 Vintage pickup for a Telecaster. It's a keeper as far as I'm concerned. I think it. Seymour Duncan, I told them what they wanted, they gave me what I needed, and that's perfect. So I think I'm probably going to get the matching pickup for that, and when I do that, I'll be back on and I'll let you know how that goes. Okay, thank you very much.